Sinti, your previous night ended in getting picked up in a very nice older model car, driven by a person you have seen before, briefly, never really got the chance to talk to. Um, but you were driven to an abandoned warehouse, on the edges of town, where some of your compatriots were residing. Um,
It's a fair term.
it's maybe it's in quotation marks at this point. Um, but you were given a place to stay for the night, um, in a separate room. And when you awaken for the night, could you please make me your rouse check?
I can absolutely do that. I am hungrier, so that puts Shinti up to 3 hunger right now.
Excellent. As
Which he
you
may ride out because, subpath of Cathari kind of likes toying with the beast, denying it what it wants sometimes, giving in to what it wants sometimes, so he might just let that hunger ride for a little bit.
fair, that's fair. You do feel it stir inside of you as your eyes open. Um, for a moment, the warehouse is very quiet where you're at. You don't hear any sounds in the hall outside. The room you're in is a converted room of some sort, whatever it was beforehand. There's no signs of it. Um, but you're able to get up, and it isn't until a few moments later that you hear shuffling outside in the hallway.
He'll go ahead and probably start off his evening with just having, more than likely, because he's not too finicky, just slept on concrete floor, since, he's a corpse while he's asleep anyway. He'll go ahead and start dusting off any filth that's kind of collected up on his jacket and brush his hair out a little bit. Think he'll go ahead and take the time this evening to just generally pull his hair back, actually. Um, Not going to take the time to do the traditional braid work or anything like that because it would take him a bit of prep time, and he is staying in somebody else's domain at the moment. So he's not really necessarily planning on sticking around longer than he necessarily needs to. So yeah, just a straight general ponytail for the time being, and make my way over to the exit of whatever this room is. At the moment, it's my place for my corpse, and see what's making the noise out in the hallway.
As you open the door, the hallway is very dark. There are a couple of lights on farther down, but this pack doesn't usually care much about the light. You do see a large dog is walking through the hallway. Um, you had seen it the night before in passing with a couple of others very similar to it. This is a very large dog, easily coming to rest at your hip. Its shoulders could rest at your hip. Um, Burlier than what you would expect. The fur is shaggy and very dark, almost could be mistaken for a wolf in the middle of the night. Uh, but there's just something not quite right about the dog in appearance.
Hmm. Looks like somebody's been having a little bit of fun here. That's to be expected. Experimentation. Go ahead and, with the fact that I do have animalism and a bit of animal ken,
Mhm.
to kind of keep animals a little more complacent around him, he'll go ahead and just offer a hand out towards the dog to allow it to sniff him if he wants.
It
Or
it
she. I
does.
wouldn't necessarily
Uh,
know.
as it does get closer to you, it does smell your hand a little bit. And now that it's a little closer to you, you can make me an intelligence and occult roll if you want.
Of course, I would love to do that. 3 hunger this time. Ha.
Did you turn on your NVIDIA?
Mhm.
Mhm.
3 successes.
3 successes. As you are looking the dog a little closer, you do see some telltale signs of some Samiti work, but you know that this dog is a very particular type of dog, usually originally bred by the Bradovich family of revenants.
Hmm.
Uh, Rare, extremely rare, as the revenant families have fallen out of use amongst the Sabbat, but not surprising with who one of your companions is. Companions.
Someone has a little bit of taste of nostalgia, that's for sure. Um, Interesting. So Shinty's going to go ahead and make just kind of a mental note of the fact that this pack is potentially actually still making use of the Revenants just because it's generally fascinating to him, knowing that with everything that kind of fell apart in the most recent years as everything just devolved into the Gehenna War, that they have definitely fallen out of practice. Um, Kind of curious as well whether or not any of these individuals have ever been given the embrace or if they are still just running around as revenants, because that is also interesting to him. Um, he'll wait for a few moments just to see what the dog does if it starts carrying on to any particular part of the warehouse. He'll probably actually follow along with it since this isn't his turf and he's not exactly sure of the entire layout. I imagine with when he got in the previous night, since it was getting so close to dawn that there probably wasn't much of like a tour or anything like that. He just went and found a place to hole up for the evening or day, I should say.
Yeah. Isidore had showed you to your room currently. It was just we'll talk in the morning or in the evening. Uh and just kind of like let you stay there to make yourself at home. The dog does give you a good once over sniff before like turning around to like walks a little bit, waits for you to like follow it, and just kind of trots on down the stairs towards a hallway and then down the hallway. Uh, Down here is a little more well lit. There's still pools of darkness, which again, you do know this pack has at least one La Sombra hanging around it, so not super bright, but not like super dark either.
Fair.
It does lead you to another door, and you can hear some voices inside. And it just kind of puts its stands up on its hind legs a bit to put like its paw on the handle to like turn it to open it, and then nudges the door open.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that happen because it's generally impressive. Um, I also am going to make the assumption, just because for my record keeping purposes, that
Mhm.
I did not sleep in a location that was appropriate for Shinty this
You were
evening, so I need to take the willpower damage.
you were given enough time to be able to prepare it correctly.
Okay, fair enough. I
Yeah.
will. I'm not going to argue. I will.
Uh, uh, Given the fact that there's one priest already in this place who's a Zabitsi, and this place is definitely operating on hospitality rules, you were given enough time to.
Okay,
Yeah.
which is mostly for him being surrounded by a few cherished possessions, specifically. Um, Most of them used for ritualistic purposes at this point, but he will go ahead and, like he is supposed to be there, and that this may as well be his place, follow the dog just directly into the room that it opened up where the voices were coming from and see who all is assembled at the moment?
There are a couple figures inside. There is another two very large dogs resting on the floor, kind of sprawled out, just kind of chilling. Like they're not very obviously not on alert or anything. The one that you're following does go and just join its, which you're assuming is maybe the rest of its little pack. Um, there are chairs and tables inside. It looks like whatever furniture was elsewhere, they kind of just all drug into one room. Um, you do see Isidore is leaning on the back of one of the chairs. There is a short-haired man sitting in the chair that he's leaning on, and there is a very tall form with very long, dark brown hair standing in front of it. And they all look like they're having a conversation in Polish, Russian.
Don't recognize either of those, so just unrecognized language for him.
Mhm.
Um, Shinty will go ahead and start pacing the room. He doesn't actually intrude on their conversation because, being a dragon, he does have at least some level of respect for hospitality, even if he is kind of an overconfident prick. So he's just gonna pace kind of in the background, almost like a wolf, just pacing back and forth, kind of always just keeping his eyes locked onto the individual sitting there, but
Mhm.
not actually intruding until they acknowledge him.
You do see the man with the long dark hair does do this to signal for you to come over.
Go ahead and is immediately upon seeing that, he'll just shift path and come right over to the group.
Did you sleep well?
Uh, no worse than anywhere else that I've been sleeping as of late, since all the fun happened with giving up turf and all of that.
Well, turf is overrated at this point in time.
Certainly doesn't do us any favors in the long run. It just convolutes things and had us operating as just a reflection of our enemies for a number of years.
Much easier to just hover for a little while and move on. You've met Isidore, uh, my
Indeed.
dogs. This is Elliot Santosa, compatriot of mine. Uh,
Don't
if
see
you need
your
any,
kind around very often anymore. He'll look over at Elliot.
now that you're a little closer to him, he's a very thin man with dark brown hair, kind of short and spiky. Um, looks like fashion sense maybe dipped out in the early 2000s. Uh, so the patterned shirt with like a leather jacket, like a chain necklace on. The hair's a little bit too much on the boy band side of things. Uh, but he, given Shinti's history with the Sabbat, um, you do know exactly the Zentosa family. Um, and just a once over look of him is he's probably got that family addiction to something illegal that you just can't fully put your finger on right now.
Might have to take a sip later and find out. Ah, so obviously I don't mean to tread on any of your toes, but we obviously have some mutual interests here, and I suspect are possibly working for some of the same individuals at the moment. Harder to say now that, hierarchy has shifted around as much as it has, but you know why I'm here?
Yes, we need to talk. Isidore, make sure Elliot gets home and does not stray into anything he shouldn't. Come with me.
He'll follow along.
He leads you towards the back of the room and out a door to give you some privacy. One of the dogs uh, gets up, and then you see the other two as well. They're following behind a little bit. And he does let them out in the hallway with you before opening like a side door that leads out into a yard, and then just kind of like ushering them out to like go and run for a little bit.
Cause a little chaos, potentially.
Potentially. Again, each one of them looks similar, but there is something very distinctly not dog about them. One of them yawned just a bit too widely.
All right. So, I'd be curious to know, assuming you yourself know, how many of us are in town right now?
With you, me, the others that occasionally cross the border. It's a bit hard to count exactly. How many do you think?
I wasn't given a ton of detail. I knew that your pack was here. I know that I am supposed to convene with the stragglers of another pack that still kinda clinging on, but could definitely use some enhancement in numbers. And part of my job is to ensure that those number quotas are met.
Assuming that came from higher up.
Indeed. Although, again, with everything going on, I don't know if it's necessarily the same individuals that you're reporting to. Hierarchy has gotten a little messy.
The bishop?
Yeah.
23 in total, including you and me and mine. There's one other pack, the remnants of the one that you are also tasked to bring together, and 3 others.
Begs the question, although I wouldn't necessarily expect you to necessarily know this or presume what a bishop is thinking. But it does beg the question why so many of us are being gathered here right now.
Well, if he hasn't told you, then it's not my business.
Smart.
I just know that over displays of our sect are to be kept at a minimum currently until we are given a signal.
Well, I suppose in the interim, we should take care of some formalities. I assume your pack is available for Evaldery.
They are. I
Very
could get
good.
the others. The one that you're supposed to be taking care of, the shadow. I assume you ran into him by now. He is not subtle in the least.
No, he's not. Nor are what's left of his pack. I found them a little easier than I would have liked, but yes, I have run into Remy and his compatriots.
How many was with him when you saw him?
At the time, just one, and he'll go ahead and rattle off a description because he didn't bother getting a name because he's an asshole. So,
Ah, the tiny rose.
mm, that would explain the prissiness.
Then you didn't see the Nosferatu.
No, but it's fantastic that he has one in his fold.
He also has one that's very unusual as well. A
Unusual how?
day, a day walking thin blood.
Hmm,
Useful.
very
He keeps that one a bit close though.
understandable. They have been starting to come over in droves as of late.
The panders too. I guess that's what happens when the tower decides to look down on their nose on everybody. They get what they deserve.
Even more these days. They've managed to drive out entire clans into Sabbat light.
I am recruiting among them. It's easier to go after those who don't really have a home or those who are looking for one than it is to really deeply corrupt the ones that are already tied to something.
Couldn't agree more. The individuals that I've got my eye on right now, they're waywards, I would say. Some of them still feel like they potentially have a place, but I think they all kind of know deep down inside that they're really just licking at the bootstraps of those above them still. Or completely lost. Surprisingly, it seems to happen a little more commonly down here than the tower probably likes.
That would be the Seneschal's doing.
Hmm. Yeah, I heard that there was a little bit of turbulence, shall we say, in regards to the leadership around here. Not keeping a tight ship, as it were.
I think there are reasons for that.
Well, it's going to make our lives easier.
It is. Do you trust the orders you've been given so far?
No reason not to just yet. So far, it's been pretty basic.
Have you met the bishop?
Not in person, no. Only through communique. That said, my orders currently stand at simply gathering together these wayward souls and giving them purpose.
Would you like to see one of my purposes here in the city? I feel as a member of the kin, you would enjoy it a little.
Let's just say that word of your reputation precedes you, and I would be most interested in seeing whatever experiments you might have going on right now.
The dogs are one of them. I picked them up before I came in town. Bradovich family is not what it used to be. There's small pockets of them. They're slowly diminishing. Their craft is still as good as it usually was.
Seems like good work.
I modified them a bit.
Hmm. should have expected that the hands of a true master had a part in that.
They're magnificent guard dogs. And they're highly intelligent, even more so than normal, which is ideal for when I need to put eyes somewhere else. He does make a whistle and brings them back inside and then just points back towards the room you guys had previously been in. And you do see they do the dog whining of like they don't really want to go, but he kind of like snaps and points again and they trot off. This way. I have a soft spot for the revenants. Not what they used to be, of course, dying out. The ones in Mexico are almost completely gone when the Second Inquisition blitzed the entire area. And the ones that didn't get away, of course, with the Camarilla resurgence down there, did not have far to run.
It's unfortunate.
They have their uses. Elliot is creative when it comes to getting me what I need.
Well, and in the end, they didn't wipe us out, so our breeding programs can always be resumed when we have the appropriate time and means.
I'm already working on that.
As I'm sure are others.
Oh, we shall see. The other one is my eyes and ears at the morgue. A Grimaldi.
Even got a little diversity amongst your ranks. That's interesting.
She came to me through a deal, and unfortunately, I am very soft on her. She is way more intelligent and less prone to messing up than he is.
Isn't that normally the case?
Yes. And he does lead you down the passageway and into a different door. This one opens up and the lights are all on in here. And towards the back of the room is a giant composition of body parts with far too many arms and a very rubbery appearance.
Now, it has been some time since I have seen that. And he will look at it with an actual look of respect and admiration.
I'm building a second. It's just taking me a little bit to get the parts. There's a group of vampires in town that's making my life, unfortunately, a little difficult, but I haven't gotten the go-ahead to turn them all into little piles of ash yet.
It's unfortunate. Maybe we have some fun with them.
That's what I'm thinking. Aster's idea was to put the spines on the back. I don't know how I feel about them, but he is a Toreador, and taste is occasionally in their realm.
Especially amongst our ilk. They get some very interesting ideas going in their minds.
He is particularly clever at times. I'm hoping to get at least another one made besides the one I'm already working on. I can't wait to see what their looks on their faces are when I drop this into the middle of Elysium.
It'll be fun.
It really will.
Remind me of the sect wars of the 90s.
Bishop is a veteran of those.
As are we both.
I was still over in Warsaw at the time.
Well, you missed out on some fun around these parts, but I'm sure you were getting up to all manner of interesting things over there.
I was. The wolves were a problem, but I dealt with at least one of them.
They can be a finicky bunch.
They can be, particularly the certain tribe of them are normally antagonistic towards us, but I'm
I
here now,
find
so
them like a shotgun. They're useful when you point them in the right direction.
useful but dying out. Seems like Gaia is not able to keep her warriors as strong as they used to be.
Well, they were always likely very wrong about things anyway.
Realization does come to those who actually take the time to pay attention, but
And can live long enough to do so. Another
exactly.
problem they seem to have.
Yes, most of them when I left were young and the foolish. But I am here now and doing my part. You can do a Volduri when you wish. I
I'm
held
ready
the.
whenever you are.
I
I
have to
brought
get
my
all
own
of.
implementations if you need them, but I would expect you probably have some of your own here.
I do. But since you are the guest, I will give you leave to prepare for the ritual.
Very good.
Gives me time to get everybody. And pulling Abbott away from his computer is going to be hard enough. Panders, I'm telling you.
Well, at least they try to keep us on the cutting edge.
They're not afraid of technology like the tower is. Have you ventured into the surrounding areas?
Not so much yet. I spent a little time down in South Dallas and mostly so far just kind of getting a feel for the turf. It's been, I don't even know how long since I was last in this area.
It's probably been a while. We have another pack near Fort Worth. Unfortunately, that one is ran by a usurper, but I guess we have to play nice.
Well, nice-ish.
Useful until he slips up. Much prefer the lady he rides with. Ministry.
Hmm. Their numbers have always been surprisingly light on our side of the coin.
She holds the same rank as us, so I maybe have just a little bit of partiality to her.
I'm impressed.
I will gather the others. Need to figure out where Aster ran off to. You know, roses, they get a mind of their own.
They do. Very easily distracted by many, many different things.
Don't get too close to it. It will hit you.
And at that, Shinti's going to go ahead and start walking away. He'll head back because he would have left his implements back in the room that he had slept in since he wasn't prepping to leave just yet. And he'll gather up his Baldery Chalice and Blade. And, oh, let's see. It's technically the first time meeting this pack, so probably go ahead and plan for the binding as well on top of the Baldery, because Shinti is a bit of a traditionalist, and even though the binding is starting to fall out of practice a little bit, he is more than likely going to go ahead and conduct that as well.
And as you are preparing and the pack is assembling, you are able to look over the people assembled, noting a couple of familiar faces that you have seen before, a couple you haven't. Um, and we will transition to Joe and Amanda. You two have been staying with the circus for the previous night. Could you both please make me your rouse checks? You are muted.
I passed, yes.
I do not pass.
Oh no. What does that make you?
I'm only up to 2. I'm fine.
Two hunger. And we
Yep.
got a pass. Amanda, what are you at?
Right now, I am still at too many screens. It's really too many. I think that only puts me still at 1. Yeah, I'm still at 1.
Hello, 1. Excellent, excellent. Joe, you wake up in a familiar caravan that you have been in numerous times. Your sire gave up a space for you because you were there and is sleeping a little farther away from you. You can see he has also woken up, eyes kind of staring up at the top of the ceiling, just kind of like blinking a couple times, trying to either sort himself for the night or trying to just figure something out.
Joe takes a moment to figure out whether she wants to approach the situation or not. And eventually rolls over towards him and sort of props her head up on a hand. You look like you're pretty deep in thought there. Anything you need help unraveling?
Wondering which one of your boys is going to get up into mischief tonight.
Oh, likely all of them.
I can't tell them apart.
It's the tattoos. They have different ones. It's not really that difficult.
I don't pay attention to men that often.
No.
What do you see in them?
They carry things that I don't want to carry and put things on top of the van when I don't want to climb up there to put them there.
But they are abnormally stupid.
We're not paying them to be smart. It's not like they're doing the books.
I might put in a raise if one of them could find a brain cell.
But, you know, every once in a while, Jimmy does a wee bit math. Just a wee bit.
I have a headache. I can't even get a headache, and I have a headache.
Have you eaten lately?
I probably should.
Do you want me to go find you something?
I need to take a walk. I have a meeting later on tonight.
Really? Anything interesting?
New form of business. If I can agree to a good price with them.
Front business or back business?
Back business.
It's about that time anyway. Might as well get paid a little bit more since we're moving.
I'm hoping to be out of here hopefully soon. Depends.
The sooner
though.
the better. Lest any more weirdness happens.
The people you saw at the club, the ones you sent me the photo of,
Mm.
how long did they stay there?
We were there as they started closing down. I went back into the bathroom to take a phone call, and I'm not sure they were there when we came back out. Not long.
Good.
The other one, though, that one might be a little bit more of a problem.
The one you brought with you, or
No, the second picture I sent you on the way home.
you see he reaches over for his cell phone to look at the photos.
It would have been the picture of Sinti that she sent.
Ah, yes, that one. He's just your type. Pretty. Unfortunately, looks smart.
You know, I'm a little dismayed that you'd think that.
I don't know. You've got triplets outside that are completely idiotic. And you do hear what sounds like a little bit of a crash from outside. If that is one,
But at
two, or
least they're useful.
I'm going to eat one of them.
You can have Will.
I don't even know which one that is. He does like set up a bit. Right. What are your plans for the night?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm going to find something to eat. And it might be whoever made the ruckus just now.
You do hear a voice from outside, just a very far away shout of, "It's okay, I've got it." It is not Jimmy. It is one of the other ones.
Yes, very well might be that one. I don't know. Beyond that, I suppose maybe I'll give our new friend a ride to wherever she needs to be.
You can take all three of them with you. I will pay for the gas in that van.
Promising. All right.
If they stay here, I'm having them shovel out the horse pen.
Oh, but that might be funny. I might have to stay and watch that. It could be entertaining.
It could be. We should sell tickets for it.
You know, it's especially interesting when you make them feed the cats, because you would think men that big wouldn't be afraid of just a wee cat, but oh, they can throw like none other when you put them in front of something with teeth.
One of them is allergic to the cats.
Oh, that explains it. See, you do know something that I don't, for a change.
Only because, like, when I was walking by, one was sneezing up a storm and just had like the running of the eyes, and I do not miss being human.
We'll sort out duties, and then you handle your business and I'll handle mine.
That sounds like a plan. All right, I'll leave you to it. I'm gonna go see what's causing all the chaos outside. I wish we hadn't got rid of the elephants. I would have paid to see one of them run one of them over.
The elephants are illegal now, dear.
I am aware. Miss them though. They were useful and smart. You do see he like gets up, grabs his jacket, takes a moment to in the mirror to just like flip the hair back a little bit before walking out.
Joe is apparently in a mood this morning and just slaps his ass once he's on his way out.
You hear it.
Just
Ow.
full palm.
Do that and you might not be able to leave tonight.
That's your prerogative, not mine.
Go see your friend. I'm gonna go take care of this issue. And you do see when he opens the door, you hear a, "Hey, enough. Just put it down. Just put it down." He says something in Italian as he's walking down the stairs.
Joe by now understands Italian, so
It is something very not polite involving someone else's mother.
Yep, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She'll go ahead and get dressed and give him a couple minutes and then follow out and head back towards wherever she parked her van.
Your van is parked again to accommodate the mile. It has been moved again farther down. Amanda, you wake up. There is a attractive man sitting on the front seat who has his feet up on the dash and a Sudoku puzzle in his hand and is chewing on the back end of a pen.
Yeah, I bolt awake, gather myself. Who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck are you?
I'm a friend of Joe's. She let me sleep here.
I'm a really good friend of Joe's.
Okay, good for you.
Is she not back there?
No, I guess there wasn't enough space. She didn't want to share. I don't know.
Where did she go?
Well, if you're such a good friend, don't you know?
Usually she's in here. This is the same nightly routine we've had for forever. I sit here, she wakes up, she tells me hi, corrects my math. This is not the plan. This is not the usual routine.
Well, I can tell you hi. I'm probably not fixing your math unless you need to know 20% of something.
No. Hi.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
Jimmy.
Hello, Jimmy. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
So what do you do when you're not playing number puzzles and waiting on Joe?
He points out the window to the circus that's outside.
Yeah, that looks like a lot of work.
I'm playing hooky tonight. I don't want to get in trouble again.
Doesn't playing hooky imply getting into trouble? Isn't that kind of the point of playing hooky?
It's only hooky if you get caught. I'm just shirking my duties. Mostly because I really, really, really do not want to have to set up another tent or take it down.
I can appreciate that. Amanda's gonna kind of look Jimmy up and down, and say, "Hey, listen, Joe seems cool, and I don't want to like get into any trouble or anything with her. I don't know what your situation is, but we go play hooky."
I have to ask permission for that first. You know, she gets particular. If you try to bite me, I will smack you with this magazine.
Amanda sort of like puffs up and like shows off like her muscles for a second, just kind of like mirror imposing, like, "You think you want to slap me?"
You see he kind of like takes off his jacket and flexes as well. And Joe, at this time, you are walking over to the van to see a little bit of a standoff in your front.
Do I have like a triplet ear in each hand, dragging them along with me?
You have the other two ears, dragging them towards the van. They are protesting a bit. It wasn't me, it was him. No, it was him. It was totally him.
Open the door, throw the first one in, throw the second one in. It is two picture perfect duplicates of Jimmy.
Well, I'm flabbergasted and just like, now that Joe's here, look to her and be like, "How many of them do you have?"
Do you realize your math is wrong? I know my math is wrong.
Only the 3. If there were any more than 3, I think I might have to call the herd a little bit.
Or,
These are
you
more
could
than enough.
share.
Well, ask the lady if she's hungry.
But right. Are you hungry? Do you need food? Do you eat food? Can we get McDonald's?
I bought you McDonald's last night.
You bought him McDonald's last night, and then Mama G made him curry.
I brought 3 of them in the little Halloween buckets.
Which one of you bastards took my Halloween bucket?
Lord.
You need
Lord,
to
help
write
us
their
all.
names on the bottom with Sharpie.
All right. We're going to find out where Amanda needs to go. And then I'll take you to McDonald's.
Tonight's my night off. I don't have anywhere to be.
Oh,
This
well.
is far more interesting than anywhere else I could possibly be right now.
I've been told to take the boys and leave. So
What did you two do?
I did
what
not.
did you do?
Okay, so in my defense,
Mhm.
balancing everything on one of those big balls they used to put the elephants on is not a smart decision.
No. Do you know why?
It was worse because it was the fancy china that Sal had in the back of the trailer.
Tends to be because, no surface tension
I told you we
on a
should use the
ball.
guard.
Mm. So that sounds like a you problem and not a me problem, but I still get stuck with the 3 of you. So what are we going to do about this?
Can we go bar hopping?
All right.
Yay! I'm still mad at one of you for eating my McDonald's.
And I assume Amanda knows good bars.
The
Not
best bar.
fancy ones, good ones.
Exactly. No, I don't know. Do they deserve the good bars?
Of course they do. Look at them.
No,
How
no,
could you say
no.
no to those faces?
No, don't take us to the good bars. We like the cheap beer.
No. Oh no,
But the dive bar where we can all get into a
Character down.
fight.
It's a very good time when they fight. I would recommend that one.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that is what I meant by good bar. But dude, I do want to watch them fight. You have 3 of them?
I do.
How do I get 3 of them?
Guess which one of us is the oldest?
Is there
You can go ahead and guess. It changes every time.
I point to whichever one is standing furthest on my left. And I go, you're the oldest.
How did she guess that?
She's just very good at the game.
I'm good at
old.
people.
It's only older by like 90 seconds anyhow.
You're poor me.
All right, where am I driving to? Do I need to stop and pick anybody else up? The van has space. Like, I don't know if we're wanting to make this like a full-on party tonight. It's kind of weird because there's like 3 dudes and 2 of you guys. I feel like it's uneven.
I suspect we probably could if you're feeling, intimidated by the extra testosterone in the air.
No. I just thought maybe like cohesively as like a picture, it would be better with 3 and 3.
I Logical.
Plus, guys buy you guys beers, and if you don't want them, you could just give it to us.
Useful. Did you manage to get that girl last night? Did you manage to get her phone number?
Yeah. I think I've got it. Yeah. I mean, I think we're like pulling my phone and I'm just like, what did I save her name as? And I'm flipping through trying to figure out. I'm like, yeah, the one with the lips.
Mm.
Yeah. So I pull out my phone and say, hey, we're going out. There's like hot triplets. Where are you at?
Taryn, you were at home. You woke up in your usual surroundings for tonight. Go ahead and make me a rouse check. Let's see how hungry Taryn is.
She gets hungrier.
Okay, well that brings us to hunger too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do feel a little stirring within you of hunger. You brush it aside. Your early evening is spent just answering some emails, ignoring the couple of messages from a certain somebody who shall not be named and who is a creep. And also there's a couple of messages from your sire Isaiah, talking about an art gallery that's happening this weekend and asking if you wanted to come.
I ask him to forward the details to my email.
Mhm.
Because I don't want to give a guaranteed yes if I have to attend as his plus one. If I attend just by myself, then sure. If I have to attend as his plus one, then I am significantly less interested.
Surprisingly, when the details come through, it is an invitation specifically for you.
Ooh, goody. Then I will ignore Isaiah, not respond to him anymore, leave him on red, and contact the person who sent the invitation and accept the invitation for the gallery event.
Excellent. It is a judging by the name on the email that you know it is somebody who occasionally is the person who gets you the tickets for places and knows that you like to be by yourself and not attached to him and always seems to go out of her way to just always make sure you are by yourself, like it's addressed to you.
Got my back. Love that. Love that for me.
And you do realize that it does say VIP on it. And she definitely made sure to give you essentially the works for the invitation, like VIP room. You don't know if she did the same for him. It's hit or miss, depending on how much he's upset her.
Yeah. He deserves it.
But she's very happy that you've accepted it. You do get an email back that's just like, "Yay, I'm so glad like you're going to be attending. Like, here are all the details." And then you do get a text on your phone from Amanda that says something about hot triplets.
The hot triplets definitely pique my interest. But first, I post on all my socials that I'm going to be at this gala, whatever it is, over the weekend. So I make sure to put all of that information out first. Then I go back to my phone and respond to Amanda's text. I'm like, wait, what? Hot triplets? What? I just post the address of a dive bar that I know won't kick any of us out for fighting and is very service industry friendly. And if we tip well, they'll make sure the triplets have a very good time. And
The bar now would this bar be inside the city limits or outside the city limits?
The problem is, like, I know exactly what bar I'm thinking of. Like, it is actually a real bar that exists, but I cannot remember the name of it. But it is within the city limits.
It's within the city limits. Okay, excellent. You do get, it is a dive bar. You do know this dive bar via reputation. But hot triplets.
I definitely like whine and stomp. Like, if you've seen that gif of Emma Roberts from, I think, like Scream Queens or whatever, where she's like, I do that. And then I respond, "You pick a better bar next time. See you there." And then I change out of my like nice trendy clothes and put on like the shittiest jeans I have, which still cost more than what everybody else is wearing, and like a random like sports t-shirt that I have, but it's like all artfully like cut up and stuff, and a baseball hat, and I'm like trying to like kind of hide who I am because I don't want to be caught by like paparazzi or anything at this really shitty bar. But I still like very clearly stick out because everything is designer and expensive and whatever. And then I grab my shit and go.
Shinti, you have completed your ritual. The binding you've done has made your active iniculums increased across the board. So that's good.
Feeling very loyal to this new pack.
Very loyal. Dare I say it, a little very loyal to the couple of them.
Terrifyingly loyal to them.
But you are able to leave for the night. Zachariah did give you the full tour afterwards, just showing you his place. You do have anytime you need to or an area to stay. He's making sure that the room that you were in is now just your room for whenever you come around. You know that you can have their services if you need them. But it's very clear when Zachariah says that it's a do not abuse this privilege.
It's all right. Shouldn't need it. So I think at that point then, not that it's entirely necessary, because again, with his path, he's willing to kind of toy with his beast a little bit. But I think he is going to go ahead and try to track down some food for the evening. So he's going to try to locate some of the more ill-reputed areas of Dallas and see what kind of catches his eye.
You do find yourself in an area of town where not many people usually come. So go ahead and make your hunting roll.
Absolutely.
The difficulty in this area is going to be just a little bit higher.
Ooh. 6 successes with a crit.
Excellent. Just what you needed. You are able to find a younger man out and about. He looks like he's been dealing some stuff out here this evening. Looks like he's probably heading home at this point in time of the night. Keeps like looking around on his shoulder just to make sure that no one's following him, or mostly probably just to look out for either rivals or the police.
So with Shinti's hunting style, it's, I guess, the best description of it would be the Sabbat equivalent of a alley cat.
Mm-hmm.
So he's an executioner, and he is going to... How physically fit does this individual look?
Skinny and scrawny.
His natural aptitude should carry him through this then.
Mhm.
Yeah, he is going to... I guess I need to know what kind of part of town this is. So, like, are there alleyways, or are we in a residential area, or what?
You're in not quite a suburb, but you're in a there's alleyways in between like some of the strip malls there, but they also do bump up against some residential neighborhoods as well. Um, it's kind of just like just a really a main street looking thing, and then houses on the sides.
Okay, and how much general traffic is there in this area, both foot traffic and vehicles?
There's almost no one out here tonight. Traffic is few and far between. Most people are probably at home. On your way over, you did notice that most of the houses have like the grates over the windows and doors. So, probably a little crime heavy neighborhood where most people just prefer to be indoors. Um,
I think in that instance, and knowing that he's also supposed to be here to cause general disruption and chaos, and not just recruiting a pack. He's going to go ahead and probably take his victim right out on the street. So Shinty does have lethal body, and he is going to allow that to come into play here as he quickly moves in and grabs the kid by the arm, and with lethal body just jerks him around by the arm to hopefully just immediately rip it out of socket for him. And then as soon as he's facing him, he's just going to immediately sink his teeth in and drain him dry and leave the corpse right there on the street.
That is fair. The beast is happy and sated, but you do not get to remove the last hunger.
Too much of a goody two-shoes. Not quite evil enough. Pity. Well, at this point, Shinty's getting kind of used to the idea of... Because, finding his proclivity does take usually at least a little bit of work. It's not like people just wear neon signs that are like, hey, I kill people. So, yeah, he is... he's fine with that. He's fine with that. But he will leave and he is fully draining the body so that it's nice and suspicious, and just leaving it right there on the street. Nice and easy to find.
Made a note of that for reasons. Where are you heading next? What are your little Sabbat plans for the night?
So I think at this point, because it is going to take a little bit of work to finish up with the new recruits. And he wants to give them a little bit of space for the evening, because too much of a full court press is going to just drive them off. So he wants to make sure that they have some space to kind of chew things over and really kind of get their curiosity going about what the fuck is up with this guy that they met. He's going to go ahead and try to track down Remy and company, because he should probably start taking the steps to establishing them back into a pack, and probably get a Vauldery done with them as well. Certainly won't be his first rodeo of doing more than a single Vauldery in a given evening, so that's commonplace for him. But he'll probably start by checking the house that he originally found them in to see if they've decided to move a location or if they're still holding down the fort there.
When you get there, they have already moved on. That house is empty. Not even the TV is remaining. They look like they basically the furniture's there, the TV's not. And you're walking through, opening the doors. You can definitely tell the back two rooms there were other people there. They're not. They've disappeared.
Good, actually. In that case, I am going to go ahead and reach out to Lieutenant Smith
Mm-hmm.
at the Dallas PD,
Mm-hmm.
who is a 3-point contact for me,
Mm-hmm.
and also why I have the dark secret of mortal ties. And having, taken their vehicle the other night and utilized it, he's
Mm-hmm.
gonna have Liam do a favor for him. So he's gonna call Liam up.
The phone rings a couple of times before you hear Liam's voice on the other end of the line. Hello?
Ah, Liam, my old boy. It's time for another favor.
Oh, please tell me it's not going to be something creepy this time around.
No, thankfully. Although, just word to the wise, you might get some reports about an assault/murder over in, and he'll give the street on where he killed somebody because he actually would love for the cops to go ahead and find that corpse as quickly as possible. Make sure that it gets to the morgue.
Yeah, is that the favor?
No, absolutely not. That's just you
Oh.
doing your fucking job. Now, for the favor,
Uh-huh.
I need you to track someone down for me.
Is this
Here's a
creepy
plate number.
favor?
And give him the license plate and vehicle model of what I assume was Remy's vehicle.
Yeah.
Don't have any officers approach. Just let me know where the fuck they are.
Yeah, I'll look into it. Is this a me personally thing, or do you just want me to put out the APB?
As long as you can make sure nobody approaches, because I'd hate for you to lose an officer tonight.
All right, this is gonna be a me thing. All right, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yep, get your ass out of bed. Time to get to work.
I'm literally at work. I work the night. Never mind. All right, I will call you when I find him. Them. This car. Is there a specific reason you want? Do you want me just to call you when I see it and let you know where it is, or
Just let me know. And
okay?
again, don't go poking your nose where it shouldn't be.
Not poking my nose where it shouldn't be.
Good.
I wouldn't do that. All right.
I like you, Liam. Despite what you might think.
That's
I'd like to keep you
doubtful
around
situation.
for a while.
No, that's doubtful. That's doubtful and suspicious. You give me headaches.
Listen, if I didn't want you here, I would have told you to just pull him over.
Oh, now I'm questioning my life choices. My mom was right. I should have been a lawyer.
Pity, though, you aren't.
I'd be making more money and have a nice house and a beautiful wife and everything. And you just, as the phone, he just hangs up. It's like trailing off. High or low?
Let's go with low this time.
Excellent. Your maybe takes an hour before you get a call that he found the car. It just gives you the address of where he found it at. It's outside a morgue.
That is not necessarily surprising. All right. Good work. I'll leave you a present in the drop spot.
Please don't be anything weird.
I guess you'll just have to find out, won't you?
Oh, this Makey feels like a deal with the devil.
You wish it was that simple.
Oh, should go to church more often. I should go to church more often. I should just... And again, trailing as he's stalking and hangs up on you.
I'm going to be an asshole and text him after he hangs up and say, yes, we should head to church together sometime. I do love all the iconography.
He just sends you back like the no emoji. Just the no.
X-carded me. All right, fair enough. And I will start slowly making my way over to the morgue. Yeah, not necessarily in a hurry. I'm kind of indifferent on whether or not they're still there when I get there.
Noted. Noted. It will take you a while to get there, so you are in transit. And we're going to go over to the dive bar that all three of you have found yourself, well, six of you. Taryn, they were completely right. There are three ridiculously good-looking, attractive triplets. Hopping... muted.
It's just not a total bust.
Mm-hmm. It is not a total bust. But on your way over, Joe, what does the inside of this van look like?
So the van is let me get the year right because I know someone will yell at me if I don't. It's a 1967 Volkswagen T2. The inside has been completely gutted and refitted since Joe doesn't need like food. So there's no need for refrigeration or counter spaces or anything like that. The bed is still the bed, but where Amanda slept last night would have been a secondary light-proof compartment beneath the mattress. So where the bed would fold up into a couch actually folds up so you can get in to the light-proof section. And Amanda doesn't know this, but all of the vans in the circus troupe have this little feature in them for reasons. All of the shelving covered in clothes, books, so many shoes, like a truly ridiculous number of shoes are stuffed into every available little nook and cranny. There is no organization to it whatsoever. It's got a kind of patchworky, boho, multicolored sort of vibe on the inside. Very bright, very like weirdly lively. And then a point of interest, if anyone should notice it, strapped into one of the shelves is a glass tank about 10 by 10 by 10 with a teeny tiny pink praying mantis inside. And that is the van. That is where you are currently sitting.
If we drove the van to the dive bar, then I absolutely would have noticed this praying mantis and have been very interested in it. Is there any sort of obvious food for this?
There would probably be like a couple of little teeny tiny crickets in there.
Yeah, I definitely would have tried to like shove food towards this thing. And like,
mantises are very lazy hunters. They don't like to move very far to get to their food, which is why they're kept in very small containers. But moving the food closer definitely helpful. That's nice. Please bring the food to me. Is sort of a mantis's way of hunting.
Respect. Love this for them. Yeah, like as we're driving, if it's not too bumpy, we're on a freeway and it's pretty chill. Yeah, I'd be fascinated, like find a stick or something, kind of poke the food towards the mantis just to see what it looks like as it's eating. See what it does.
Definitely a show when they eat.
And it is, because you do manage to nudge one of the crickets close enough. And this beautifully pink mantis it takes her moment to completely devour this poor cricket. And you just hear from up front, ew.
You're gonna have to get over it eventually. We do this every day.
I know, but it's still gross.
Things have to eat things to live.
Why can't
You have to eat. I have to eat. She has to eat.
Yeah, but why does it have to be the cricket? And why do they have to be alive? Can't she eat the frozen ones? Or the dead ones?
Where's the fun in hunting something if it doesn't move a little bit?
Oh.
I look to Joe and say, he doesn't get it, does he?
Get what, dear?
I mean, we're the mantises, right? And like he's the cricket.
In this situation, yes.
And he doesn't.
You know, Jimmy has a soft soul. That's why we like him.
And a nice face.
Very nice face. So, to be fair, it's the same face all around.
It's true.
Just absolutely talking about the boys like they're not there.
You see Will kind of like sets up a little bit more, like he's heard you and is just like trying to show off.
She reaches over and pats his thigh like, "Hi, you're a good boy."
There is a smug look as both like the other one like looks at him, and you see Jimmy out the side of corner eye just shoot him a glare.
The other one is Thomas. So it's Jimmy, Timmy, and Willie. I couldn't have cooked it up if I tried.
Well, I both
you might be able to
and thank their mother.
But if you can tell them apart, by all means, that's the arrangement. Usually we just don't bother.
Honestly, that's a very good question. Is Amanda smart enough to notice the difference? Because I don't know. It's very likely she isn't.
Make me an intelligence and insight roll.
All right. So that's my one hunger.
Taryn, as you're on your way, you do get a message again from Isaiah that goes, "Accepted and didn't tell me." It's like the shrug emoji.
I send him the winky kissing face.
I actually got 3 successes on that.
You're looking them over, and it's subtle, but you do notice that some of the tattoos on each one are different. And as Joe like named them, you're like, "Oh, I see the difference."
Yeah, I've been around enough tattoos between bar and kitchen staff. I can pick out different artwork and it's like, no, you've got that there and you've got that there, and
It's more obvious when they take their shirts off. Just saying. Should you ever need to identify one, You've got my permission to ask them to take their clothes off.
You see for a moment of Timmy starting to pull his shirt up, and Jimmy just reaches over and slaps his hand.
They seem more than willing to be observed if
Well, they are.
we really need to make them fight.
Each other.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if I wasn't
That's an idea.
hurting them, I'd fight them.
Unfortunately, one of them might have a wee bit of an advantage over the others, but we could let him referee the other two.
Oh. Because it's a fair fight, it might last longer.
Exactly. I'm game for it. I think we should.
I think we absolutely should. Let's ply them with liquor and make them fight for entertainment.
There should probably be some sort of reward involved at the end.
It can't be chicken nuggets.
So says.
I miss chicken nuggets.
That one was Will.
Whoever wins gets an ice cream.
2 scoops?
Yes.
Yes. And you guys pull into the dive bar. Taryn, you made it there because you were actually the closer one there.
Okay.
When you sent Isaiah the little kissy face, he sent back like the little face with all the little hearts around it.
I respond, ew.
The broken heart emoji.
I leave him on red.
His Toreador pride is very hurt right now, somewhere in a penthouse in Dallas.
Good, just the way I like it. I find the bar and I like drive by it a few times, just looking at it and going, "Oh my god, I can't go in." And so, no, you got to do it. You got no, I can't. And I just keep circling, and I'm like trying to basically build up the courage to go into this shitty bar. And I park my car like close, but not too close, because I don't want my car recognized as possibly being like at that bar. Like maybe I'm just around town if somebody happens to recognize my car. I don't know, but I don't want people to think that I'm definitely at that bar.
And you park right as you see Joe's van pull in. And again, there are 3 identical, very good-looking men inside this car that pile out. They appear to be having an argument of some sort between 2 of them, with one of them just being like, I don't know what to tell you. Like just the obvious like shrug and like looking towards the back of the vehicle. Just like
Joe has no intention of intervening in this. This is where the entertainment starts.
I just kind of watch them, and I figure like where 3 hot triplets go, Joe and Amanda are soon to follow. But I don't approach the hot triplets. I just watch them from a distance and try and get a good look at their asses as they walk by.
They are strong men with the circus, so very firm, very nice. Plenty to grip.
Good.
currently they are arguing about ice cream. But you do see Joe and Amanda do step out of the vehicle, and Jimmy's like, "Can we get like the pitcher of beer? Do they do that here?"
It mostly comes in either pitchers or buckets.
I hear that and I pull my hat down lower.
Which one's bigger, the pitcher or the bucket?
Well, no, they do 6 beer buckets here, so that's 6 times 12, which is I don't know. I don't know that math.
I'm not even going to try. It's too early in the
78.
day.
You just see Will like look up and go 78.
Then that would be more because the pitcher is 64.
I thought it was
Excellent.
Is it? It's possible.
I don't know. I can't math.
I don't know. I just know how much you're allowed to put in front of one person at a time. I don't know. A pint 16. What do you want from me?
Your math's wrong. It's 72.
Yeah.
I look at Joe. Your pretty boy was wrong.
Yeah, it usually is.
And the guy has literally now pulled out his phone to start typing in the calculator to see if he was right or wrong. Yeah. You just see one of them go, you're wrong, give me the phone.
Don't worry, they'll ramp up the arguments after a couple of drinks, and it'll get a lot more invigorating.
Well, perfect. That's what we wanted, isn't it?
It is. It's the whole reason we're here.
Invigorating how? Because this is not my usual choice of venue. And it says a lot that after one night of knowing you guys, I'm willing to go through this. So you better make it good.
It does. But the boys requested a bit more balance in the group, and short of pulling someone from camp, I couldn't really think of anyone else to invite.
Well, appreciate it. And I mean, I don't know any other hot triplets, so I guess there's that.
Nor do I.
It's a rare find, really.
I know plenty of hot twins. I mean, they're everywhere once you get up to a certain level.
We also have a pair of twins, but they're contortionists.
Excellent.
Are they easy to ply with alcohol?
I've never tried.
Bria steals money if you don't watch her.
Well, I don't really
Good
have a
to
whole
know.
lot of money to steal. So what else? Sorry.
I mean, if you don't keep
No.
cash on you, it becomes less of a problem.
Oh no, she stole my credit card before.
Well, that's your fault.
I bought Legos with it. It was very weird.
I like her.
Could be worse. Did she at least let you play with the Legos?
No.
See, now we're going to have a talk with her.
Well, it depends on the kind of Legos, though, right? Like, if it's a set that you're building to build a specific thing, then no, you don't want anyone else touching your system and what you've got going on.
It was like $300 she could have shared.
I size up whichever triplet it is that's talking.
It is for Joe and Amanda, it is Timmy. It is the one whose shirt is up just a little bit. And he has a Led Zeppelin band logo on his lower back. Because his shirt's kind of rode up. Almost tramp stamp style. He's just like got his arms crossed because he's very sulky about someone spending like $300 on his car.
So I like size him up and I look at him. Are you sure that you can play with Legos or do you need Duplos?
What is that? What is that? I don't know what that is. He's like looking at Joe to like see if Joe.
Something must have gotten lost in translation there.
Duplos, they're like the big ones that you give to little kids.
One's for babies.
Probably would be better, a little more his skill level.
I put together the one tent. I didn't forget any of the pins this time.
This time.
There's fewer small pieces with Duplos.
How
Hazard.
How many times have you put together a tent, and how many times have you forgotten a piece?
Let's go inside. There's beer inside. He just turns around and walks away.
Correct answer. At the very least, we do have a health and safety team that follows along behind everybody and makes sure that, you don't want one of your acrobats falling to their death.
So you really only keep them around because they're pretty, don't you?
And they're strong.
Okay, well,
And they can reach the top of my van without having to get on the ladder.
Everybody's got their something.
But yes.
Something.
Well, we haven't seen them with their pants off yet. We're not sure about that.
I can attest to 2, but not all 3.
Well, they're identical, so hopefully it's at least similar.
There's a story here.
A bit. It's not a very interesting story. Oh, am I meant to tell it?
I mean, interesting is in the eye of the beholder, but there is beer inside, and I was promised to fight.
All right.
Right?
After you.
What have you two gotten me into?
We're going to watch the pretty people fight.
And this isn't one of those paid influencer boxing club things. This is just
No.
idiots fighting in mud
I.
or something.
Oh, would that we could find mud.
There's gonna be mud somewhere if we try hard enough, I'm sure.
You can make mud.
That's an idea.
Harder.
That's an idea. I like your idea.
I mean, I can find a place that has Jello wrestling. Give me 10 minutes and decent cell phone signal. If we want to go to a place with Jello wrestling, I can find it.
They did say that they specifically wanted to go bar hopping. So I don't anticipate we're going to be here for more than a round.
Yeah, I'll go to the bar. I'll get a bucket of Lone Star and bring it out to the triplets.
You are able to do so. The bar is surprisingly not busy, but not dead inside. It looks like people are still filtering in for the night. You can easily pick out the regulars, being a person who usually resides at a bar. The triplets seem to be kind of okay, this place is okay, all right, I see what we're working with. This is not fancy. We're very happy with this. And you do see Jimmy's kind of looking around. This isn't like a weird bar, is it?
No,
You sure?
very certain.
You know what that one person said, right?
What?
About the furry people?
Oh, no, love, it's not one of those.
Okay, good.
Though, while I have your attention, since you're not going to be battering your brothers tonight, I need to abscond with you for a tiny moment.
If this is about Sal being mad at me last night,
Nope, trust me, you're not going to be disappointed.
Oh, good. Okay, yes.
I'm gonna abscond with Jimmy and try to knock a point of hunger down.
You can do that without a roll. He is your ghoul and is very happy to do as you requested of him. He is a very happy boy.
10 minutes and we'll be back.
Amanda and Taryn, as you two are watching the other two walk off, you do see Tim and Will kind of they're looking around, just okay. You don't come here to these bars all the time, do you? And you see Will leans over and looks at Taryn a bit.
Now, what on earth would give you that idea?
Brand of your jeans, those are really expensive.
Oh, so you do know some things. You were checking out my ass.
I like a good cut of jean. It's very nice. It's hard to find the ones that fit decently. And then he's realizing that Joe's not there, and he's just like, kind of like, oh, okay, she's wandered off on me.
Want to try that again now that your sugar mama isn't around?
She's not my sugar mama.
She buys you chicky nuggies.
I just like chicken nuggets. It's nice. No, I'm really good with clothes. It's easier to like, tell what's gonna hold up and what's not. Those jeans are expensive, but they're not gonna hold up very well. I mean, you look like you might do like photo shoots and stuff, so it should be fine for you. But like my line of work, no.
Yeah, I don't exactly do a lot of heavy lifting. If I for some reason needed heavy lifting done, I would I'd do what Joe does and find maybe not attractive triplets to do it for me, but I'd find someone to do it for me.
I mean, I'm good with heavy lifting. If you need anything lifted, let me know. I'll do it. I know Joe won't mind. But it'll keep me out of trouble. And then
I don't think it's possible to keep you out of trouble.
did you remember to lock the pen back up? And you just see Will go. And Joe, you get a text on your phone that just from Sal that just says one of them left the pen unlocked. Now I have horses everywhere.
Deal with that in a moment.
But as the party is ramping up and Amanda is on her mission to get these two completely drunk, that's where we're gonna end for tonight's episode. We will pick this party back up and on a mission to get two twins completely wasted. Two of the triplets.